Hello, everyone. So it's surprised to be here talking at Token2049 Dubai. Actually, I hadn't been planning on speaking, but I happened to be in town, and the folks from the conference contacted me that someone else had canceled because of all the floods. So since I was here, I figured why not come and talk for a few minutes about decentralized AI, which is something I've been working on for quite a number of years, but obviously is something far more on the tip of everyone's tongue now than it was when I started out with it. So I want to talk for a couple minutes about where the AI field is now, where it's going, and why putting AI on blockchain is so very important. And I think it's important. It cuts across all different application areas. I mean, including humanoid robotics, which is the application that was just introduced a moment ago. So the humanoid robot, Sophia, who was the first robot citizen, was my project. I led the software team behind Sophia, and we've made a number of other humanoid robots since then. That's one of the many projects which really needs decentralized AI. So the AI field, as most of you probably know, has been around since 1950s by that name, really since the 1930s or 40s before that. I mean, I wrote my first AI code, I think in 1979 or something, when I was 13, 14 years old. At that time, AI was much more obscure than now, right? It was a corner of the research world. I started my first AI company in the late 90s, and around 2000, 2001, I and a lot of others started thinking, well, hold on, we've got AI. AI needs to run on many machines. And the internet itself is a decentralized network, right? There's no central owner or controller of the internet. So why can't AI run decentralized with no single owner or controller? And in 2001, I wrote a book called Creating Internet Intelligence. I tried to chart out how you would make a decentralized AI network with little pieces of the AI running on all different machines around the world, communicating by internet protocols. Tried to build something like that in Java version 1.1 programming language. It was just so slow, I decided that was hopeless and ahead of its time. Now, if I'd figured out to make decentralized money instead of decentralized AI, then I would have been Satoshi, which would be, then we'd probably have the singularity and superintelligence already, right? But I didn't. We actually thought about decentralized money, but we were like, well, this will just take a very long time for transactions to clear, and we'll have a high cost. So who would use it? I didn't envision Silk Road and rampant price speculation and all the other things that drove the early days of Bitcoin, right? But so we fast forward to 2017, when I saw Ethereum and the smart contract platform. I was like, this is the time that it can get real, right? So I founded SingularityNET in 2017. We did a token sale at that point, and we launched what at the time was pretty much the only decentralized AI network. Now, it's been an interesting journey since then. We've built a lot of infrastructure for running AI on decentralized networks, and a number of other projects have popped up doing that as well. We've built some products that people use to do useful things, DeFi, music processing, biology. It's fair to say we haven't yet gotten the level of traction that we'd hoped for when we launched SingularityNET. Instead, what's happened in the last few years, centralized AI has taken over more and more of the internet, right? I mean, starting with ChatGPT, Midjourney, and so forth. I mean, we see more and more centralized AI services running on big centralized server farms, created by big tech companies or VC-funded startups. These are doing amazing things, right? So you could look at this and say, well, oh shit, big tech won. Looks like building AI decentralized was just too hard. In many ways, it's harder than building it centralized, which is hard enough already. But I don't think the story is yet told, on the other hand. And I'm optimistic the next chapter of AI development will have a much more decentralized flavor. Now, what has brought so much success to big tech in the recent AI endeavors is a species of AI technology called deep neural nets, right? And some of these are convolutional neural nets, like used for computer vision, or stable diffusion networks. Some are transformer neural networks, like underlie large language models. These are very valuable forms of AI technology, but they're not good at everything. Deep neural nets, for example, are not good at complex multi-stage reasoning, like you need to do to write a scientific paper or something. They're also not good at being fundamentally creative, like you need to do to make a breakthrough new work of art or music, unlike what was heard before. So the AI that big tech has put out is great. It doesn't do everything. There's still a lot of opportunity left. And what I've been aiming to do in SingularityNET in the post-ChatGPT period is use our decentralized AI network that lets different AIs running on different machines connect together to realize intelligent functions, to connect together agents embodying different kinds of AI algorithms. So take a deep neural net that's good at generating text or images or analyzing data, take another node on the decentralized SingularityNET network running a logic engine that's good at doing formal scientific reasoning. Take another node on the SingularityNET network doing evolutionary learning, which is a kind of AI that's good at inventing wild new stuff. Connect them together on a decentralized network so that they can synergetically yield an intelligence where the whole is more than the sum of the parts. Of course, all these things are easier said than done, and big tech is moving fast. So to accelerate this further, in the last couple weeks, we've been working on what's, I think, the biggest tokenomic merger in the crypto space. So SingularityNET, Fetch.ai, and Ocean Protocol, we're merging together our tokens, AGIX, Ocean, and FET, into a single token, ASI Artificial Superintelligence, which will then have a combined market cap of 7 billion or something. And the idea there is to join our communities, join our underlying AI technologies and our teams together in an alliance to move faster toward decentralized intelligence, which can, fill in the gaps that what big tech is doing can't do, but do it on a decentralized platform, right? And the one thing we realized early in the SingularityNET journey, we realized almost no one is going to use your AI because it's decentralized. They might think that's cool, but pretty much they don't care. People just want a product to do what it does. So I think what we need to do for the decentralized AI world to win over big tech / big government, we need to launch the best AI in the world in ways that everyone can recognize when they're using it. If it's a chatbot, it needs to be smarter than ChatGPT in meaningful ways, like make less random shit up, be better at reasoning, make less boring and derivative works of art, right? You roll out something that's smarter than what big tech is doing, but it just happens to be running on that decentralized network, then everyone will use the decentralized network. Just how most people who use stable diffusion didn't use it because it was open source. I did, because I'm an open source guy, right? But most people use it because some kinds of pictures it generates better than Midjourney does. So the fact that it's open source, fine. So I think that's the challenge we have in the next few years. We need to roll out AI that's better than anything big tech is putting out in a way that ordinary people can recognize when they use it. The decentralized infrastructure needs to be good enough that it doesn't make it really slow, really error-prone, or really expensive. And then you have a path to actually having decentralized AI take over the world in an economic sense, hopefully not a military sense, right? So, I mean, imagine, so OpenAI will launch GPT-5 and 6, Meta will launch Llama 3, Llama 4, and so on. So imagine we have something clearly more intelligent and creative than those things running on the decentralized network. This would be really the first major crypto application outside of things that are crypto being used for crypto, like DeFi and NFTs. It's hard, which is why we're looking to merge together a number of projects to get some synergy to achieve it. So the merged entity we've created with the SingularityNET, Fetch, and Ocean tokens, we're calling ASI, the Artificial Superintelligence Alliance. And we may end up inviting other crypto projects into the alliance as well to join forces, because these big tech companies are multi-trillion-dollar companies. One big tech company who's now placing AI at the center of what they're doing has a bigger market cap than the entire crypto world, right? So I mean, we need to join forces rather than squabbling with each other, and I'm really happy we've been able to do that. So how I see things developing over the next few years, I think we are probably not that far off from computers that think as well as people, or even better than people. So my friend Ray Kurzweil, who has been working for Google for the last decade or so, but had a long AI entrepreneurship career before that, Ray wrote a book in 2005 called The Singularity is Near. He forecast that AI would reach human-level general intelligence in 2029, and then massively superhuman intelligence by 2045. And I think he was right roughly about the 2029 part. And I think there's a few pieces of evidence pointing there. I mean, one is all the evidence he cited in his book. There's Moore's Law, there's the amount of memory that computers have is speeding up. Quantum computers are getting more and more capable. Networks are getting faster and faster. So many different aspects of technological advance are speeding up at an exponential or hyper-exponential rate. The observed function of AI like ChatGPT and Midjourney and Stable Diffusion and so on, Llama, that's another piece of evidence. These things are just getting smarter and smarter. We can all see it and feel it. And the research that we're doing in SingularityNET and in our other associated AI projects like the OpenCog project, we're making more and more progress on getting reasoning and creativity working together with LLMs. So you can feel AI converging toward an amazing point in the next few years. Where I don't agree with Ray Kurzweil is I think once we get to human level AGI in 2029, or is it 2027 or 2030, it's all pretty close in the scheme of human history. I think once we get there, we're at most a couple years from having AI that's massively smarter than people. Because once you have an AI that's as smart as the people in this room, that AI will take over AI development, right? That AI will take over design of AI hardware. That AI will design new networks. That AI will design new blockchains. And it will be able to copy itself over and over, because computer programs can do that, right? So I think the path from human level AGI onto superintelligence will be a relatively rapid one, which, depending on your personality makeup, you may find very frightening or very exciting, or both, right? And one thing I'm fairly confident of is the odds of this path from today's AI to AGI, artificial general intelligence, to superintelligence, the odds of this path coming out well, I think, are higher if the AGI we build is running on a decentralized infrastructure. Because what's the alternative? The alternative is a big company working very, very closely with military and intelligence agencies from whatever country it's sitting in, having control of that AI, right? And that's not necessarily disaster, but it's not, I think, what we really want. So my friend Alan Combs, who's a psychologist, who's sort of a mentor to me, gave a quote at a conference recently. He said, "Don't worry, nothing is under control," right? And I think we want to keep it that way, and that's not a guarantee, but it's the most likely condition under which beneficial superintelligence will emerge. So that's what we're working toward in SingularityNET and the ASI Alliance. So check out SingularityNet.io or superintelligence.ai and find more information about the projects, the software, the tokens, and so forth. Also, I wrote a book on this stuff recently. It's called The Consciousness Explosion. You can find that at theconsciousnessexplosion.ai. All right, thanks everyone.